Hello everyone, welcome to 4Sides with me Anjali. Here's the special report from 4Sides. EdTech company Byjus was one of the most promising startups during pandemic and saw exponential growth before it began to register losses. The increasing debts leading to financial crisis, layoffs, skipped loan payments and more importantly, post-pandemic slowdown and failure to course correct are only some of the many issues that the Indian startup is facing. Byju's story could as well be the story of India's startups, especially in the segment that saw growth during the pandemic and post-pandemic they are grappling with the slowdown. Business Standard calls Byju's a poor advertisement for India's once booming startup sector. Even as Byju's is currently struggling to survive, which it may for all you know, with over 80,000 registered entities, the startup ecosystem in India is starring at least 70% of them failing, while 100 of them have achieved a unicorn status. Here's a special report. Byju Ravindran's humble background makes his rise to becoming a billionaire startup founder even more inspiring a story to learn. His parents are physics and mathematics teachers from Arikode village in Kannur district of Kerala. Like most South Indian students of this time, he studied engineering and joined a shipping company. However, he would teach maths to his friends and anyone else who wanted to learn. In 2003, he appeared for CAT and cracked it with 100%. This is despite not having prepared for the tough competitive exam. It was after the exam that Ravindran began to train students for CAT and decided to leave his job in order to take up teaching full-time. From teaching to auditorium full of students, he began the online platform Think and Learn in 2011, which led to launching the Byjus app in 2015. And in just 3 years, Byju's Ravindran won the EY Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2018. With 15 million subscribers, the EdTech firm became a unicorn valued at $1 billion. The startup growth was manifold during the pandemic. As COVID-19 forced students to take up online learning, Byjus became an important app in the space. Investors' faith in Byjus increased and they kept pouring in funds and Byjus kept growing. However, as per a report in BBC, Byjus' loss grew 17 times in just 1 year in 2021 and recorded a loss of $327 million. This is attributed to the exponential growth plan and indiscriminate acquisitions even after pandemic when students went back to schools. In 2021, Byju spent $2 billion to acquire White Hat Junior, Akash, Topper, Epic and Great Learning. It was at the time the most valued Indian startup. The firm had the likes of Shah Rukh Khan and Lionel Messi as brand ambassadors, which was later blamed to be a vain exercise, spending more than necessary on marketing. On hindsight, perhaps the firm bit off more than it could chew. In addition to defaulting on loans, delayed submission of financial statements to auditors, violation of foreign exchange laws, layoffs, defaulting on EPF payments are some of the many allegations that the firm is dealing with it. Not to mention the allegations that Byjus is indulging in malpractices to lure parents and children to buy the courses, and dozens of complaints on social media platforms and consumers' websites over deception and exploitation. During June 2023, 3 board members left Byjus, leaving Ravindran, his wife Divya Gokulnath and brother Riju Ravindran on board. Today, Byju Ravindran has lost his billionaire tag. Back in 2020, his net worth was $1.8 billion, while the firm was valued at $10 billion. The latest Forbes report places his personal net worth at approximately $475 million, considering the loans he took to invest in Byju's vis-a-vis his 18% stake, which is now valued under $1 billion. The firm is looking at restructuring its debt and it may come out of its present financial crisis and even correct some of its practices or may not. The story of rise and fall of Byjus is because of many reasons: for failing to maintain the standard of the company as big as it was, not coping with return to normal post-COVID, overestimating the edtech's potential based on pandemic trends, unrealistic valuation, and indiscriminate expansion. Experts even attribute it to board structure of venture capitalist funded companies where there is no one towards the end to protect the interest of the company in the absence of regularity rules. If anything, the case study of Byju's could be a white paper for Indian corporate governance laws as far as startup sector is concerned. Thank you for watching 4 Sides with me, Anjali.